Hi guys, it's me Karen. Welcome back to the channel. We are doing a picture here that we've been doing for a while. I finished the berries and the leaves on this page and I was practicing with some hair. So we're going to do it in this color here. There are 3 different colors here, but you can barely tell. These have a little bit more red in it. This one had a brighter yellow in it, and this one has no red in it. And I picked this one to go a little bit better with the bird and the berries. So I did a little bit of practice. So these are the pencils that I picked, and we will be going from darkest to lightest. So the golden color or the yellow color I picked is Golden Ochre 34. And then we will go in with a burnt ochre 50%, 876. And then we go in with a little bit of raw umber, 846. And then we touch in a little bit of raw umber, 548. And then we bring in Cassel Earth, 46. And a little bit of Sepia, 407. So I tested it on the paper going dark to light and then back to dark. I also did it light to dark and then adding in the last 2 lights, and I think I like doing it the light to dark a little easier for me. You can have a choice on that, on whatever way you like to do the hair, but since I have a hard time kind of remembering where the, I mean, I know it's there, it shows you, this is the highlight. But when I start with the dark, I tend to bring it too close and then I don't get the highlight as nicely as I want it. So what I found out, if I go in with the lightest color first, we'll go in here and just kind of lay it down in there, kind of extending it out. Then I know that's going to be where my highlight's going to be. And then I can bring the other colors up and down into it without going over it too much. Okay, so I'm just going to use those colors in the way they are. I'll bring the camera down after I get this piece done. Okay, so we are the order that I told you we did it. I will show you the pencils when I get it down closer how and which ones I'm using. Just going over all those lines, especially the darkest lines. Giving everybody a turn to get their color on. Don't want to forget this little dark spot that comes down there. Okay, dust that off. Noticed one of these pencils, and I'm not sure which one it is, it's got a little bit more chalkiness to it. So yeah, then I just go over it so I get my nice yellow tone. There's a little bit of a lighter color coming through here, but that's okay because it's already covered with your beginning color. So I'm going to bring this camera down so you can see that a little bit easier. Okay, and if you think it got a little too yellowy, just bring in the darker shades and go over it again. There's no harm in going over it a few times. Want it to look like a shine on there. Okay, what is this? The raw umber. Might be the crumbly one. There we go. This one too, who knows. Okay, so we're just going to do every strand that way. It's going to take a while to do. Put it down just like that. And we'll bring in the next one. I'm going to bring it in from the bottom, down from the top. Just putting some color in it. Oh, sorry, I was supposed to tell you which colors. This is the raw umber, 50%. Raw umber regular. The Cassel Earth. And the sepia. Then we just come back in with the yellow ochre. Get any of that white back in there. Okay. And go to the next section. This one is behind the leaf, so we're going to get in our color as best as we can. Next color is the burnt ochre, 50%. Ooh, flying pencils. Sorry. Tiny little lines there because it's a small little place. And then the sepia. Then go back in with the yellow ochre. Okay, I guess we'll go up. Hold on a second. Okay, we're just gonna go up this side and we'll put in the yellow first. Burnt ochre, 50%. While I'm doing this, I want to make sure I cover up those shadow lines with some kind of color. since we're putting down so many, it doesn't matter which one it is, but we want to make sure they all get covered. And we really want a sharp point when doing hair, just so we get little lines. Sorry, last color is a sepia. Really want to get it dark in those corners of the braid. Darken some of these areas that are out here. And that line there, that line there. Then we're back in with the yellow. Get it blended in. Okay. And what I'm going to do, since you kind of know how the braid's going, I'm going to try to do something other than that. We'll go down her bangs here. So we're going in with the yellow ochre, and we're going to put it in the light area here. And I'll put some in here too. A little harder here. And we'll put some here. Okay. Can you see all those areas? I'm sorry if it's sideways, but I'll just pull in the 50% here. Really hard to see what's in here. It goes all the way up, so I'll just pull some of that down in there. Okay, and the burnt umber. Turn it a little bit this way. Okay, and we go in with the raw umber. Okay. Next one is the Cassel Earth. Some of these areas are really dark, so we could get those darker, like in this one. Remember that line there? Don't want to go too far down. Okay, back in with the yellow one. Gonna have to shade that in there a little bit so I don't get all that color in there. Okay, we're just going to work that until we get the right shade. Like this one looks a little too yellow, so we're just going to bring in the raw umber 50%, or the raw umber, this one is. Just going to bring that in just a little bit more. Just dulls it down a little bit. Okay, so just go through all the colors until you get it to look the way you want. Just go over them and over them and over them. Hair sometimes can take the longest. The only thing you want to remember is not to go over the lightest area too much, because you still want it to be light. sorry, I have to keep rotating this, but I need to get the hair going in the right direction. This is the sepia. Okay. Where's my pencil? They're rolling, so I put my eraser over here to keep them from rolling, and now I can't find what I'm using. Okay, that's looking all right. Even when it's really dark like that, you want to make sure you get your lightest color anywhere those highlights might be. There's a little one up here, a little in here. I think that's a leaf, so I don't want to go over the leaf. But I purposely didn't do this brown going down these leaves so I could go over it. Okay, I got highlights in these guys too, but what I'm going to do is just go down the little fluffies with the yellow ochre here, and then we'll darken wherever they need to be darkened. Bring that right up into the other color up here, because after all it is falling out of her hair. There's a little bit of it coming over her shoulder here. And then of course the long one here on her front. Okay, So in the long ones here, I'll get the camera up just a bit so you can see them a little better. We're going to go in at the top with the colors that we used in the other parts of the hair. And just start bringing some of that down in here too. While we're here, throw a little in that eyebrow too. So anywhere where it's the darkest line, we're going to add some of that color just at the tip. I'm going to have to sharpen these pencils again. Okay, and we bring in the next color. This is the raw umber 50%. And we'll bring a little of that in the eyebrow too. Just the plain raw umber while we're here. Put that in. Trying to debate if this is an open piece or if it's a thick piece coming down. I'm going to leave it as a open piece and darken this line that comes up here. So you just go in and add this on every one of these. Make sure all the lines are covered. Cassel Earth. Do the same thing. Let me sharpen that. Keep forgetting this goes all the way down here, so we might as well get that line going again. Okay, a little of the sepia. Decided I'm going to close that up. Didn't like the way it was looking, so darken that line though. And then go back in with the yellow. Okay, we're going to sharpen that. Piece of wood there, sorry. Go down the face here. Okay, if you think that's too bright, then you just go back in with the raw umber 50%, and it'll knock that brightness right down. Just bring in any of your colors just to brighten up any areas, to darken any areas. Add in whatever you want to add in. And if you want to put in any stragglers, you do the same thing. Just make sure your pencils are sharp. And if you want to shade it any, you want to make sure that one's sharp too. So if I wanted to add an extra little piece of hair up here that's flying out a little bit, we can just pull it in, throw a piece out here. I've got a curl coming around here. Maybe there's one flying out on this side. And just go back in with the darker color and stick the root down in there. Add another piece if you like. It's pencil. Sharpener's doing a number on them. Okay, just so they aren't perfect. Now this one's got a dark line on it, so we're going to bring in the Cassel or the Sepia. We'll add a couple extra in there too. I've got to get that sharper. So, say we have our hair coming down this way, because that way this hair can come down onto her face. Pull another one down over here somewhere. Some of that into the ones we put in here. Okay, then we'll just go on and finish your hair. Getting little pieces of this all over the place. So what I'm going to do is the rest of the hair off camera. I mean, I think you've seen enough, you know how it's going. Spend a lot of time doing this. Anyway, so I'm going to finish this off camera and then I will show you what it looks like at the end of the video. So I'll see you in a little bit, guys. Okay, we're back and we've got the hair done, and what I'm going to do is take a little tiny bit of Distress ink, which is gathered twigs. This little tool here, I'm going to dab it in, and in the braid I'm going to go where the darkest areas are and just kind of pull some of that into the hair. Now this will catch any of the areas that we did not get with color. It'll also take a while to dry because you're putting it on top of a wax pencil, but I did leave areas here that are open. So it's just going to darken up the areas that I didn't get pencil into. It's also going to be the same color as I did the bird in, so it'll bring that color up here. So we're just going around, going in where it's the darkest, and then just pulling it out onto the rest of the color to darken and put a depth into where the braid gets folded under the other hair. We'll also do it anywhere that the braid hits on top of, to darken any of those areas up. This is an optional step. You could do this all with your pencil if you like, but since I used it on the bird, I kind of wanted to bring up the same color. And it's just a quick way also of adding in any shadows that you have, or areas that you didn't get down as much color as you wanted. After a while, my arm starts to hurt, or my wrist, so I tend to go back to my easier way of laying down color. So we're just doing it all over her hair. Trying not to touch anything else, just her hair. I mean, if we get it on the leaves, it's okay. The leaves can have a little brown on them too. It's not going to hurt them. So you guys will have to tell me how the last videos on this beautiful picture have come up on YouTube. I have had to change the way I download my videos, so I'm doing it straight from my phone onto YouTube. For some reason I can't do them the way I did it before. The videos just don't go onto my computer like they did. I used to just be able to upload them onto my picture thing, and then I could edit them and do all that kind of stuff. Can't do that anymore for some reason. I will put them into my computer, and they're all messed up. So it's between my camera, or it's not my camera, it's my phone. My phone and the computer, there's some kind of miscommunication going on, I would assume. So let me know if it's okay. It's a lot better than what it was going to be, because there was no the audio was fine, but the picture that came in was all distorted and not good. So hopefully they're turning out all right, uploading them that way. So there is a difference in the hair when I do that. And if we want, we can bring a little more down into the birdie, just to accent the fact that they have got the same colors in them. So the only other thing that I would want to do in the hair is, if you find an area that you would prefer to have a little bit more highlight, you just take a Posca pen and throw in a line, fluff it out with your finger, put it in here or there, and just give an extra highlight into the hair. You don't have to do this either. It's just something I'm going to do. Kind of just adds a little bit more in there. If you don't like the color that you put down, go over it with your pencil. And you can blend it in a little bit better that way too. And if you want to add in any long hairs this way, you can also. I don't have a background on it yet. I don't know what kind to do, so I'll probably throw some distress ink in there. And like I said, if it gets too cloudy or whatever, just go over with your pencil and you can blend it right in. But it gives a nice little effect there. So what I'll do is debate on the background, and I will come back and show you what I do. Okay, everything's dry and done the way I like it, I guess. I'm gonna do a little bit of broken china in the background. This is always the scary part after you finish a picture and you kind of go, oh, I want to put a background on it, but I don't know. And I'm gonna do it in blue. Yep, I don't know. Keep going back and forth. I know exactly what it's going to do to the page, and I'm just a little meh about it. So I'm trying to find one of these little tools. I wanted a smaller one. And, you know, just my luck. I turn the camera back on and can't find one. Okay. This one looks to be a good one. So we're going to rub it in here and we're going to test it on some paper. And the nice thing is they gave us a testing sheet, so. Okay, we want it light, so. Oh boy. Take some off and then we're just going to go in probably where the green is. Try not to get it on our hair, but we have to get in here too. This is just going to be a light coating of green. Or green. Yep. I need more tea. We're in the green area, so. A light coating of blue just to surround everything. Okay. I am so much used to my little tool here, so I'm going to use it to get into these. I'm just tapping it, so getting that little teeny corner with some ink in it and just tapping it down on the paper. If I get any on her hair, we're going to wipe it off. Recolor it if we need to. I'm not smearing this, I'm just tapping it down. Okay, go around up here. And it's a light tap. Then you can kind of pull it out a little bit. And down here around the bird's feet. We're not going to put any over here on her shoulder. I did this piece of paper. Come down around her neck, just tapping it in there. Same down here. When we get it where we want, you can go back to the other tool, wipe it off a little bit, and then you can just kind of brush it in here. It's a little lighter touch with this tool. Bigger one here. Okay. Now I haven't tried on this to add water to it, so I'm a little leery about doing that. So what I'm going to do before I do it on this paper is take the test paper, sorry, we're going to add some ink on that and we're going to test it. So we're going to spray it with water, a couple dots, and see what it'll do. And that is the effect I'm going after. So it will lift the ink and it won't damage the paper. Okay, there we go. Always mention that you want to test it before you do this. Picks up a little easier on this paper. I do want to get that water up quickly, so working around till all the ink gets the same effect. That will clean up any of your little lines that you had on it and also give a really cool effect to the paper. Right there is where I wanted it. Okay. A little more here. Over on this side. There. Boom. Cool. And that is going to be it for this picture. I have to let that dry. I'm not putting any splatters or anything on this, and no glitter. I will, because I went over it, I put a little bit of Posca up here in the tree branches, just a little line, and I'll go over those again. And if I wanted to add a little piece of hair or anything in here in white, I can now because you have background. But I have to wait for it to dry because Posca is a acrylic and will lift with water or smear, so that has to wait. But right now this is done. So I hope you enjoyed everything. It seemed to be a long video this time. The effect the water gives, I'll get that up a little closer. I love that effect, so that's why I wanted to get that taken care of. And poof, there we go. I just love this picture. This one's getting framed and put in my art room, so pretty happy with the way it turned out. I may, these little berries out here may need to get a little darker like this guy here. But other than that, I'm going to turn off the lights so you can see how it looks without blaring lights on it. That is so cool. I really love this. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up if you like these kind of videos. Thank you for subscribing, and if you haven't, think about it. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye now. Take care.